Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Clone Wars Season 5, Episode 2. So, yes, I skipped Episode 1 for now. If you don't already know, I'm watching this in chronological order. The chronological order list says to go directly to 5x2, and we'll watch 5x1 later on, whenever that is. I haven't looked that far ahead, but we'll get to it when we get to it. So, in case you're wondering why my episodes jump. The last episode I watched was season 4, episode 22, and now we're on season 5, episode 2. So, yeah. Anyway, that was a really great arc we just had, even though it was only a couple episodes, where we followed a bit of Savage Press going and finding Darth Maul, who then got brought to Dathomir, which I was informed that Mother Talzin is alive, so she did live that, and even like through that encounter with Dooku walking in that room, and she's just off doing her own thing now. So, I was, I did question whether or not she lived or not, and with when she showed up again, so whether she was like some kind of, you know, kind of like a force ghost sort of thing that, maybe her last purpose, her last bit of power was put into, being able to help Maul or whatever. But nope, she's just still out there doing her thing. So anyway, it makes me wonder. I mean, obviously we need to watch more to find out, but like, I think her name was Marin on Jedi Survivor, with Cal Kestis and everything. That game, she thought she was the only Night Sister left, but I wonder if Mother Talzin's alive and out there somewhere, and Marin just doesn't realize that. So, either way, I imagine we're moving on to something new. We had the fight between Obi-Wan, and Ventress showing up too was awesome, but Obi-Wan, Ventress versus Savage and Maul, and that was very cool, but it seems to have been put on hold until they meet again. So, what are we going to get into this time? We're just going to have to watch and find out. So, we're going to start here, guys, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. We're back to the yellow. Fear is a malleable weapon. Uh-oh. That's a cool name. And he looks kind of cool. Isis. Hmm. Wait, so it's Ondor on the planet. My bad. I thought that was the guy's name. Hmm. Rebels. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Who was the fourth that was with them? Was it just a... That's just a clone in a different outfit? It might be Cody or Rex. Oh. Well, that was fast. Oh, hello. Hmm. Cool. Stila. Cool planet. Whoa! What are those? They look dragony. Or dinosaur-y. Hmm? It's a very dinosaur-y planet. Like, creatures. That's Rex. Nice. Cool. Hmm. What? He looks much different than he does in Jedi Survivor. Hmm. Lux. Yeah, we... Hmm. Yeah, okay, that was that. Man, we keep seeing Lux everywhere. Lux is the same kid from the Separatists. His mom was a Separatist leader, right? On the Senate. And then he tried to get revenge for her with Death Watch. And now we see him here. I didn't realize. It took me a minute. My bad. Nice. Do you have to do all the flips and twirls? Oh! Oh, they don't like each other. Seemingly. Yep. They seem to do it. That's good. Hmm. Oh. Ruh-roh. At least I asked them to come this time. Sometimes the Jedi come and then these people get found and it causes more trouble, but they requested them, so they can't get too mad. Hmm. Alright. I wonder why they don't get along. Just different philosophies between politics and combat. Don't shoot me! Nice. That makes sense. Like, objects won't block them and stuff, so... Cool. Yeah, you could easily roll it right through them, right? Too fast and it... Yep. Too fast. How will Lux do? Oh. Seems good enough. I sense a rivalry. Uh-oh. I think Steela likes Lux, doesn't he? Doesn't she? Oh no. Come on, girls. Get your head in the game. Lux, can you teach me? Oh shit. Uh-oh. No! They're not gonna be ready yet. There's a Jedi here. Oh, shit. You probably need more than just... Oh, maybe they didn't recognize them as Jedi. I feel like they'd send more. Because if this is all they're sending, having 3 Jedi should be easy peasy. Bonk. Yeah, that seemed too fast. Oh! Nice. Do it more. Gotta practice. Yep. I hate when people do things once and then they just stop training for it. Like, I'm sure they train more and maybe the show just doesn't show it because, like, oh, they got the knack for it, you know? But just because you do it once doesn't mean that you can do it consistently, right? You need to be able to do it every time. I'm feeling bitchy because you're getting close to my man. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. I wonder if Steel is gonna be, like, in a situation where she has to do it and she realizes, like, more of the importance of it. Nice. She's disappointed. Hmm. That makes sense, yeah. Even if you just leave the head there intact, it can just send reports. Actual droids. Shit. Alright. Time to use what we've learned, I guess. She's just going to town. Hmm. Damn. What is that? How can you tell? Alright. They have, like, 1 day of practice on... Well, I don't know how many days it's been. Oh. Ah, release the animals. Little smile from Obi. They're gonna do it. Yep, I knew with the way that they were, like, both in the shot together. Hello. Don't put it in his hand. Okay, there you go. Nice. Little bit of extra, but help from Ahsoka. Whatever happened? Didn't they have the other one, the other droid design? I don't know what they're called. Sorry. Hmm. They had the other like gray ones coming, didn't they? Hmm. All right. Hmm. Disguising as we saw someone in the same kind of outfit going in, right? As the droids were leaving. Yeah, that one right there, actually. Almost looks like the same one. Oh. Hmm. Roger, roger. Uh, I don't know why. It's more of like a bustling. I mean, I guess I did say it was a city. For some reason, looking at it from the outside of the walls, it felt more like a fort that was just like military esque. Oh, excuse me, I was yawning. All right. All right. Cool. That is it, guys, for episode 2 of season 5. Yeah. I very much liked the episode. It was really cool. Like, Saw Garrera is a name that I recognize, at least from watching through Jedi Survivor. I've heard other people, like, I can't remember if we've seen him in the first 6 movies. I apologize for that. It has been some time at this point that I've seen the first 6 movies. Um, but yeah, having him in this is just very cool. I think, I mean, based off what he's doing in Jedi Survivor, it seemed like he like had a team of people on Kashyyyk in that game and was helping the Wookiees with their struggle. So it seems like whatever goes on with Saw Gerrera's life, he uh what's it called? he obviously seems to be very successful leading like a group of people to the point where he's able to go to other planets and help them too. So that's very neat. We had a conversation on the idea of training what Anakin called rebels and what called as like terrorists, you know. And I mean, it's definitely, I see both sides. I think like teaching people to be able to rise up and how they can help like make a change in like the shitty environment that they're in. I think that's important. Like it depends on what they do with that power after the fact, you know? Because I guess they fight for what they think is right, and maybe from, you know, it's just a lot of it depends on perspective too, right? Like what if, you know, obviously from our side of things, they're trying to take back their home, so it looks like they're in the right, which is when you would call them rebels. But from the separatist side of things, that, you know, these guys are coming and invading their home, so they'd be marked as terrorists probably, right? So it's like, you know, I mean, history is written by the victors. So if they lose, they'll probably just be marked as terrorists. If they win, they're the rebels that, you know, successfully took things over again. So, um, I do think, like, I mean, not to get too political or anything, but with some of the stuff going on in our country right now, or my country in the US, I kind of wish there was more of like an organized, structured system that could teach people how to, you know, fight back and give people like a good means of handling that, right? But I think there's a lot of people that want to do things to help, but like a lot of what we do would just, you know, risk us just getting shot, you know? So it's like, I mean, people do the peaceful protests, but unfortunately they only go so far too, you know? But, but yeah. I don't want to get much more into that, but yeah, so I don't know. I like the idea. I like Anakin's idea of training people to be able to fight back, and I mean, the thing is like, maybe it's a little spoilery, but me knowing that it seems like Saw Garrera seems to lead a group of people that is going around other planets and helping people just by the fact that we see him on Kashyyyk helping the Wookiees and everything makes me feel like what Anakin proposes is very successful, you know? So, and I like that, like, I mean, hell, like, there's a whole show based on rebels, right? So it's like, do you consider them terrorists or whatnot? But yeah. Anyway, I do get annoyed by the Jedi Council, and granted, it seems like it was mostly Obi-Wan at this point for the people speaking out against it, right? Like it seemed like Mace was on board. It kind of seemed like Yoda was like not vouching for either side. It almost seemed like he was just observing the conversation. Obviously, Anakin was with Mace. It was his idea, and then Obi was seemingly against it. And then we also had Ahsoka, who, you know, isn't on the Jedi Council really. I guess neither is Anakin, but that was the whole problem, or one of the whole problems. But either way, she just kind of observed, right, as well. I wonder what there was others there too, but they didn't really say anything during that, so I wonder what they thought as well. But sometimes like the pompousness of the Jedi of like we need to be taken to like a higher order and everything. Like I don't know. It's like I don't mind it. I get it, and I do agree that like Jedi should be held to a higher standard, maybe, and stuff like that. They're trying to be people to be looked up to, so they don't want to do anything that could like tarnish that view of them and everything. But I do agree that sometimes you have to do what is right rather than do what makes you look good, right? if that makes sense. And even if doing what's right doesn't make you look good, it's still important, right? You should never value how people view you over doing the right thing, in my opinion. So, anyway. Yeah, I mean, very cool. Obviously, we had the little undertone throughout the episode. We had Lux again. You know, I didn't recognize him right away. It seems to be a going trend because I never recognize him right away, even though it was just recently that we had him with that whole Death Watch episode and all that. But he has now found himself here helping these people. And we had the little undertones of like a seemingly little bit of a romantic rivalry between Steela and Ahsoka, who both seem to have some level of affection towards Lux and got a little jealous with each other, it seems. But I'm glad it didn't like take over the episode. It was just like little looks and little minor things here and there, so it wasn't too annoying or anything like that. So yeah, Onderon, very cool. Very cool planet name, I believe. Onderon's the planet, right? Because he said like he was talking about some sap or something, and he said like you won't get it on this side of Onderon, right? And then the cities that they're entering is Isis, which that's a risky name now, but you know it's fine. It is what it is. So this might have been made before that was even a thing anyway. So, and it's spelled differently. I guess there's that. But yeah, hopefully me well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm not a big enough channel to be monetized anyway, but hopefully this video doesn't get derailed because I said those words, you know. I sometimes forget that on YouTube they will actually like make your video less visible because of things you say sometimes, right? So if it detected me saying that, it might screw my video over just because of that. But I mean, not like I get a ton of views anyway. It probably won't make that much of a difference regardless. So I think most of the people that watch my content are like regularly return each week for the episodes coming out anyway. So yeah. But regardless, good episode. I liked a lot of the premises and a lot of things they talked about in regards to rebels and terrorists and all that, as I've already spoke about. And we had a little bit of fighting and training these people to fight for themselves, and they got to put it into action. So, you know, nothing like a little bit of field experience shortly after training. Like I said, I don't know how long they were there. You know, sometimes shows do that where they could have been training for a week before these droids actually made it here, or the droids came right away and they just had to like learn quickly. Because I mean, thing is like I said during the reaction, is just because he like rolled that ball that one time doesn't mean you mastered it, right? You need to be able to do it every time. So they still have a lot of work to do. But anyway, very cool seeing Saw Garrera. That's gonna be it from me, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more. Links in the description. Should be up on the stream or screen, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye bye.